Good morning, Brave Awakened Ones. This is Veronica of Higher Realm Holistics. Welcome to June already. Can you believe the year is half over? 2019 is almost over, and it's been a freaking doozy already. I want to thank all my subscribers. I thank you, my supporters. Thank you, Patreons. And I have something special for you, Patreons, I'm going to be doing. I'll explain it in a minute. And thank you for everyone that attended my webinar yesterday. It was fantastico, wasn't it? And so that's where I'm going. This is where I'm headed now, because now is the time to step into our mastership. Now is the time for me to step into my mastership. And of course, I'm a Lightworker Sherpa, so all those who I resonate with. And again, I am not for everybody. Again, we all don't have the same jobs as light workers. We all have very different jobs as light workers. Not everybody can have the same job or nothing will be done, correct? So, for those who say, you have to ignore you have to ignore the dark. You'll give them power if you pay attention to them. Well, for somebody like me, I have to draw my sword. I finally picked up my sword, which is my wand, which is all my wisdom and knowledge about magic, and applying it to all the higher things that I know now, and marrying the two, and now practicing it, full-blown practicing it, which I've been doing since last Saturday when I got home. Like I said, after an 11-hour drive, I came straight home and started, because once I get that final kick in the pants to do something, I don't waste time. I jump on it. So first of all, my website is higherrealmholistics.com. I'm a certified integrative holistic health nurse, medical empathic intuitive, lightworker Sherpa. I do spiritual counseling guidance. I have a degree in psych also. That's where I started, in psychology, adolescent psychology. And I'm also author of the children's book, How the Caterpillar Flew. And it triggers the awakening in the young ones. It was #1 new release book and verse on Amazon. It's available on all major online book retailers. It's available worldwide. And you can pick it up at some Barnes and Nobles in South Florida, in Boston, and in Atlanta. And see, beautiful. Lovely butterfly and her caterpillar friends. Okay, it's really sticky and hot already. It's like 80-something degrees already in Miami, and it's very early in the morning. But again, I want to talk about last night. Last night we did some serious shadow work. As you guys can see, it is work. Especially we're applying all this higher magic. And the series I'm going to be doing now, what my Oversoul calls it, is Higher Realm Magic. So I'm going to be doing a whole series for however long I'm supposed to be doing it in a Higher Realm Magic. And what Higher Realm Magic is all about, it is taking the traditional earth magic, all the different traditions, Wicca, Santeria, using herbs, using my candles, and adding the Atlantean, I was told, because I was like, what is going on? It was busy, really busy night for me. Okay. I had Atlantean energy coming to me and talking to me. I was like, oh, okay. That's part of it. Using the crystals, knowing how to use the crystals in the magic. And also, big time, like 50% of it is the planets, the planetary energy, the cosmic energy. And I've mentioned so many times in my videos how I have a very strong connection with the cosmos, with the planets. I talk and I hear them. I talk to them and have that experience with them, which, by the way, I mentioned before how we have to really talk to our kids, Generation Z. Let me tell you, they know a lot more than you think. My niece overheard me talking on my webinar, and she came out, she goes, you talk to the planets too? She goes, I hear the moon. I talk to the moon a lot, and she answers back. I'm like, yeah. Well, I talk to the planets also, honey. I hear them all. And I've mentioned, talk to the kids. Ask questions. Ask them questions. When they're complaining about something, ask questions. Dig in deep. Because I never would have known. I knew my niece was into Wicca and started doing that. But I thought just dabbling, whatever, because, it just runs in my family. But I did not know she was going through full-blown ascension. Had no freaking clue this kid was going through ascension, and why she was going through depression, and why my sister placed her on Ritalin and all this other stuff, and try to help her and explain to her, or not Ritalin, I'm sorry, Adderall, oh, same damn thing. But still, and what her depression came from, where her anxiety came from, is because she couldn't handle all of that. Imagine us as adults dealing with ascension. Times that by 100. Think of it as ascension is puberty. Imagine a kid going through puberty and no one's telling you what it is. All of a sudden you get your period. All of a sudden you're getting body hair. All of a sudden your voice is changing and you don't know what the heck's going on. You think you're going crazy. You think you're dying or something. And I mentioned the ringing in the ear and she's like, oh my God, you hear that too? And then she told me how she visualizes a dial and turns the dial down when it gets too loud, and it actually works. So try that if it gets too loud for you. So back to what I was talking about. It all comes into it, the higher magic. How it's time to, I was told, to bring back that Atlantean magic. That Atlantean magic energy is rising, and that magical energy has been manipulated ever since, it started to be manipulated. Some of the Atlanteans were doing bad stuff. That's why Atlantis fell in the first place. So they're the ones who opened up this portal and brought these dark beings through, thinking they can control it. But no, it was a trick. So now it's the rise of this positive Atlantean energy. And it's for us, those of us who are called to be those magicians, those high priests and priestesses, like myself. Like those who joined me last night, who got to see all the orbs and we were burning the candle, got to see I got goosebumps. How awesome is that? We actually saw in our faces the violet flame. It was purple light all around the candle as it burned. It was so freaking cool, wasn't it, guys? And I was so burnt out after I went and dispensed of our package. I was so burnt out. But then again, of course, 4 o'clock in the morning, timeline jumping, had to collapse the timeline. No rest for the weary. Okay. So I'm going to be doing that series, and I just want to point out some stuff that I was guided to point out to you guys very strongly. So we have been working, the shadow work we've been doing with this higher magic has been with the new moon in Scorpio energy. We're also working with the zodiac signs because they contain, the constellations have a lot of energy to them. That is why they made those constellations the way they did in the first place. Our ancestors, okay, was to do this higher magic, was to use it in magic, in conjuring, okay? So we've been working with the new moon in Scorpio and the Pluto Retrograde in Capricorn energy. Now, again, that Pluto Retrograde energy, let me give you the dates. I'm sorry, not the new moon in Scorpio, the full moon in Scorpio that we've been working with. The full moon in Scorpio energy we've been working with, which ends on the 3rd of this month, right? And it goes into new moon of Gemini, which I'll talk about in a minute. So that Pluto retrograde energy is from April 24th, 2019 to October 3rd, 2019. And the retrograde makes the Pluto energy go deep. It's to clean deep, deep wounds throughout your many lifetimes of reincarnation, cleaning those deep wounds and anything you picked up, curses, spells, hexes, vows that you have made, vows that your ancestors made, generational healing, bloodline healing, going deep, deep down. That's what that Capricorn energy is for also. Think of the Devil card, okay? The Devil card. I wish I had my tarot cards here to pull that up. Think of the Devil card. That is the Capricorn energy that is connected to Pluto. It's retrograde, so it's going further deep down to pull everything out. As my oversoul put it, to tend to your garden. I was shown very clearly everything we've been working on is there. We have been working on all of this stuff. You've been working on it with me if you've been following me. We've been planting our seeds. Our seeds have germinated. They have grown. Our gardens have grown. But in order to reap what we've sown, we had to deal with this Pluto retrograde and use it to help tend that garden, to help pull out the weeds before we could actually reap our harvest, which harvest time is coming up. Now, even though the full moon Scorpio energy is leaving by the 3rd, you still have time to do this really. And yes, it is time sensitive. It is time sensitive. We can't be laid back about it. It is time sensitive, okay? I know there's no such thing as quote unquote time, but you're hearing the material. So yeah, there is time bound, okay? If this doesn't resonate with you, it simply doesn't resonate. So that Pluto retrograde energy for all that generational healing you could use it until October, okay? October 3rd, when it goes stationary, then direct in Capricorn. So trying to read my little scrabble notes as my oversoul was talking to me, and then the Atlantean energy was talking to me too. You know, it's all telepathic, so I'm trying to put it into English. So yeah, what we did yesterday during the webinar was all about me going in there and helping you guys with that generational healing, with that karmic healing for yourself and for your entire bloodline. And I also suggested that, you guys, because it was a 3-hour webinar, okay? It's so funny. I was like, oh my God, I told my niece, I can't believe we went on 3 hours. She goes, sorry, at 8, we finished at 11 o'clock on the dot when the candle finished, and I was able to wrap it up and bind it and everything. My niece was like, well, you called it. You said watch it last 3 hours, because I was trying to go for 2, but it was 3 on the dot. And it was very extensive. As you guys see, it's a lot of work. I put in a lot of work prepping before we started, and I'm sorry if I had to run back and forth, and it seemed a little unprofessional because I had to move my altar and everything, but I needed to be close to my niece and her friend because one of them got sick, and I had to watch over them, so sorry about that. So anyways, yeah, so if you're interested in doing that work, and also you'll still get that energy, you could do it along with us. Those of us who were there in the webinar, it was like over 60 of us, which was awesome. So that energy was so intense. And anyone who attended the webinar who has questions, I'm sorry, because it was weird. We got some strange interference. We heard these people talking that weren't part of the webinar. It sounded like it was over walkie-talkie. I'm telling you, that stuff comes over my phone also. Even if my phone's off, all of a sudden it'll come over my phone. So that was freaking weird. You could still purchase it on my website, $22. Go to higherrealmholistics.com. It's 3 hours. And I also send you the material to go with it. So it's the video plus all the written material with everything you need, the supplies, the mantras, the prayers, the whole shebang. You'll get everything, okay? And step-by-step instructions. I made it extremely detailed. So I put a lot of work into this stuff, and I'm going to be continuing to put a lot of work into it. So that's a deep karmic healing, the deep generational healing that we just did. Okay, that we did yesterday on Saturday, which is a great day. Saturday is the day is ruled by Saturn. So it's a good day to do it. The shadow work is good to do on a Saturday. Now, yeah, I wanted to say, once you're doing your shadow work, this is something that my sister suggested. I was like, oh yeah. And then I found out from my niece that she'd been doing this. So again, you never know until you talk to these kids. It's called Olympia, Limpia. And it's a Caribbean cultural thing, Caribbean Hispanic cultural thing, where you take an egg and you pass the egg over your chakras, over your body, and you say a prayer, you hold intentions, and the egg acts like a vacuum, and it draws out energy blockages or any attachments from you. And you could also do, once you're done, you could crack the egg into a bowl of water and do divination with the egg and see what's in the egg, see what's going on, if there's a black spot or lines or bubbles, and there's different things, okay? And for my Patreons, I will actually do it on myself. And I will make a little demonstration video on how I do it. There's many different methods. Again, this type of work is not for the lazy. It's not for anyone who needs their hand held, okay? I will show you, I'll demonstrate, and then you go out and you do it, right? I'm not there to do it for you. I'm here to teach you because we're here to master. So that's what I'm all about. So again, if I ain't for you, I ain't for you. And I will do that for my Patreons. I'll actually do it on myself for my Patreons. Anyone else interested? It's LIMPIA. Many videos out there on the internet, many blogs written about it. Easy to find. Go out there and find it, okay? If you really want to do it, you have to go get it, which was I was told by my oversoul. Yeah, you have to pull out those weeds, tend to the garden in order to reap everything, because the weeds had taken over and we got to yank them out and burn them. It's not a matter of just tending to ourselves. We have to actually rip out, those of us who are called to, those of us that are jobs. Most master builders, which my niece also, she has the number 22 on her phone. And I was like, why the number 22? She goes, that's just my number. I always thought that was like my number since I was born. I was like, yeah, me too, babe. And I showed her all my number 22s and how I'm related to 22 also, and how that's my number too. So it's so crazy, eye-opening. So for us master builders, we're the ones who have to rip out the weeds and burn them up. Because we need to clear the land. We need to clear the land, and that's what it's all about. I got 17 minutes. I gotta hurry up on this because I only have 30 minutes before it shuts off. Okay. So what we're going to be doing next, for the Higher Magic, the next webinar I'm going to be holding on the 9th of June, and it comes out to 369 because 2019 is 3, June is 6, and it's on the 9th. And it's a Sunday, which is a great day. Sun, see right there, which is ruled by the sun, which is we're ready for a bright beginning, a bright future, prosperity. So we're going to be doing a prosperity conjuring and spell, and it's going to be specific. It's for a lump sum, to get a lump sum of money. So you can go to my website, higherrealmholistics.com, and you can sign up for it. Okay, so it's for a lump sum, and I'm going to do it the same way I did the one yesterday. You could have a citrine crystal with you, okay? And I will give instructions when you register. I'll give you instructions on what to do, okay? How to prepare for it. But I'm going to be doing it for the collective of those who attend. And then in doing it, because I do it all the way from step 1 all the way to the finish. So then you have the recording, you take your little notes, and then you'll know exactly how to do it for yourself also. Now, so again, that's going to be June 9th. That's a Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, Eastern Time. I'm East Coast. I'm in Miami, okay? Miami Beach. So, okay. I wanted to give you guys a couple of hints. Yeah, it's really good. Okay, Jupiter in retrograde, that's the energy we're going to be using, okay? Because it's extra powerful. It's in retrograde, so more expansion, and that's been going on from April 10th to August 11th, and it's in Sagittarius, which is it rules Sagittarius. And I was told that you guys need to find out where your North Node is. And a good natal chart you can go to is Astrology Zone. You could do a natal chart for free in Astrology Zone for your North Node. Find out where your North Node is. Mine happens to be in Sagittarius. So that's pretty huge. My North Node in Sagittarius, and Jupiter's in retrograde there. So this is it. I gotta pull this off. I gotta do what I gotta do. Yeah, that's how to. Again, I'll give more instruction how to prepare when you register. And again, folks, I don't sit by my computer 24/7 because I have to send out the registration. Once I get notification that you paid from PayPal, I go and I send you out the registration and the information. Give me a minute. If you do it like at 8 o'clock at night, you'll get it by tomorrow morning. Okay. I've had a couple of people get really angry with me because they think they didn't get the registration. Check your junk mail. Check your spam. Maybe something went wrong. And please, when you pay, make sure you have a usable email address on PayPal. Because a lot of people, they do it from work. And I try to send out the information. It comes back to me as undeliverable because the email address is not good. Please make sure it's a good email address that I could use before coming for me, getting all mean and nasty with me. Find out why you didn't get it first, okay? All right, so Jupiter retrograde, use that, the webinar. Okay, Astrology Zone. Okay, again, do your limpia, okay, with your little egg to absorb the negative energy and blockages, and just to clean up after yourself after you do a shadow work spell. Okay, so that's it, guys. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you for joining. Okay, I did it in time. Again, go to higherrealmholistics.com if you're interested in booking a session or booking my webinars. And within 24 hours, I usually send out the recording, so everyone will be getting their recording who attended. And if you order it, I'll send it out to you as soon as I see it. Okay, guys. All right. Namaste. We got the victory. Peace. Time to get it. All right. Now this is some serious work we got to put in. Some serious hours, some serious work. It's no joke. Okay, for those of us who are called to it. All right. Bye.